Good morning, everybody. I am sorry for the late journal entry, for not doing a journal entry last week at all, actually. But I have been really busy handling some life stuff that has come up in the last little while. And so I haven't really been able to get on and post as much as I want to, or do the journal entries the way that I said I was going to. But I hope you forgive me, and this will be journal entry number 3. And today the journal prompt asked if there was any emotions that I was holding on to from the past. And I would have to say the same as anyone else, I suppose. I would have to say, of course, both good and bad. It's really hard for me to remember a lot of the good, though, because of all of the trauma that I have gone through in my life up to this point has kind of overshadowed a lot of the good memories and emotions that I've had and made. So I kind of end up getting stuck with the more negative emotions. When you go through a lot of trauma in your life, and I'm guessing some of you, or maybe all of you, I don't know, that watch me would understand that. Trauma is one of those joy suckers, you know? It shapes the way you see everything. It changes your outlook on everything. But I'm working on dealing with my trauma and how to process all of the negative emotions and everything. But I'm still not there yet. I have a lot of anger and resentment and a lot of pain that keeps pulling up from my past. I have PTSD from quite a few things, really. And I get flashes of situations from my past in my current life when certain things happen, or I don't trust people really easily because of how I've been treated in my past, and to be honest, am still being treated by certain people in my present. I came from a place where my biological mother was mentally ill and decided that drugs and alcohol were going to be her way of coping. Excuse me. And so all of that put together made for a bad situation for everyone involved. My biological mother would abandon me when I was a baby for days on end to go out and do whatever. And then my brother came along, and I was only 3.5 years old. And I was literally feeding myself and him out of garbage cans, or I was feeding us dog food just to stay alive. And then when we were removed from her care and put into foster care, my foster parents, in no uncertain terms, let me know that I, myself, was not wanted. That they wanted my brother because he was a baby, and that I was going to be a lot of trouble, and that they had no desire to keep me at all. And that causes a lot of pain. And even now, my adoptive parents, I was 7 when they got me. I am 41 now, and I can't count the number of times that my mother, my adoptive mother, has told me that she never wanted us, or at least me, and that my father was the one that basically foisted us off on her by deciding that she could handle more than she decided she could. And that's a lot of hurt to go through, because I was a child. I didn't have a choice. I didn't choose who I was going to be born to, or who was going to end up taking me at all. I didn't have that choice. I was chosen. And I'm not saying that I've had a bad life necessarily, but I haven't had a good one. I have dealt with trauma repeatedly from the day I was born until now. And I'm really angry about the fact that who takes and adopts a child and decides to tell them that they never wanted them? Or who adopts a child and knows that they have issues that the child can't control? I didn't choose to be born ADHD or autistic or drug and alcohol addicted. And I certainly didn't choose to have all of the things that come along with all of that. But I have them, and they were never addressed. I am 41, and I know I keep saying that like it's some magic thing, but I am 41, and I am the one who is dealing with this all now, as opposed to when I was a child, and it should have been addressed, and I would have been able to change things sooner. I would have been able to maybe be able to handle people differently. Maybe I would have been able to finish college when I was going, or get good grades in school, or anything. I don't know. I'm not stupid by any means, but I needed accommodations. Accommodations I didn't even know existed for me, that I didn't even know I needed. I am pretty sure that had I known any of this from the beginning, that I would have been in a different position than I am now. Because at this point, I'm not working. I am not able to really self-sustain. Going and getting a job, I can work. Kinda. As long as somebody is monitoring me and giving me directions one at a time. Because if you try to give me more than one direction at a time, it's not happening for me or you. Excuse me. But that causes a lot of hurt and anger. And I'm trying not to be angry, because I realize that my parents did the best they could with what they knew, I guess. I'm trying to tell myself this, because what reason other than that would you not try to get help for your child when you knew that they needed it? Why wouldn't you put your child in counseling when you knew that they were coming from a trauma background? That doesn't make sense. And if you happen to be a foster parent or an adoptive parent, or even if you're just a parent and your child has gone through trauma, get them help. There is no excuse. They deserve to be given everything in order to be the best them that they can be. And if they are children, it's not on them to do that for themselves. It is on you to do that for them. They're children. You're not. You should be taking care of their mental health just like you should be taking care of your own. And if you're not doing that, then there's a problem. I am speaking from experience. You don't have a right to sit there and not address the issues of your children just because they're inconvenient for you, just because it's hard. It's hard for them too, and it leaves long-lasting damage. And if you allow them to go through life until they are an adult with whatever trauma they've accrued, and you never choose to address it when they are children, and you make them wait until they are adults to do it on their own, they will have accrued so much more trauma because of the trauma that was never dealt with. Because they won't necessarily understand how to deal with it. They won't even understand necessarily that they need to deal with it. And I'm pretty sure that that is one of the worst feelings, because all I look back at now and think is, how in the world did you allow me to get to this point without helping me? How in the world did you allow this to happen? Mine was even worse, though, because my parents literally told me that it wasn't happening, that all I needed to do was ignore the people that were bullying me, and asked me what I myself was doing to cause it. Let me be real clear. As a child, even as an adult, you don't need to do anything for somebody to decide that they're going to bully you and that they're not going to like you. All it takes is for you to be different, or smarter, or have better shoes, or they don't like your glasses, or you have freckles, or anything else, and you will be made a target. I'm not trying to be a downer or negative, but let's be real. We don't get to the state of the world that we're in now without that being true. I have spent a lifetime of trying to be a people pleaser so that I could be liked by people, only to have people use me, treat me like garbage, cast me aside, pretend like I wasn't around, or say that they were my friends and then never call. I have to call my friends if I want to talk to them. It doesn't make for a very good feeling when you're the one that has to reach out all the time. It doesn't make for a very good feeling when you know that in the end, they don't really want you around. You're just convenient. And when they've got whatever they can get from you, you are no longer useful. So, what emotions am I holding on to from the past? I would say pain, anger, bitterness, probably a little bit. I'm working on these things, as I have stated. I am learning how to deal with my trauma. And I'm a work in progress. It's taken me 41 years to get here. It's going to take me some time to get somewhere else. But over the last several years of putting in the work that I've put in thus far, I'm not where I was before. And that's saying a lot. This is a process, one step at a time, unfortunately. You can't rush things. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But just steady working at it. And don't forget that it is okay to be upset about things that have happened, but it's not okay to live there. It's not okay to live in your trauma and your anger and your hurt, because in the end, in reality, the only one it's hurting is you. Because you're the only one that has to feel the emotions that you feel. The way you handle them becomes other people's problems. Maybe. But dealing with them, that's your own. And it takes a lot of courage and strength to be able to admit that there is a problem and then take the steps appropriate to start dealing with the issues that are at hand. To any of you that are going through any of this and are taking control of your life and taking control of your circumstances, I just want to say I'm with you. I may not understand them, but I understand pain. And I understand how hard it is to come to these steps and be willing to take the first step, even, let alone the 100th. So, to any of you that are on this journey with me, good for you. Keep it going. Don't give up. You may not see results immediately, and you may not be the one to see the results at all. It might be other people around you that see them first. Just keep going. It's worth it. And to any of you that haven't started the journey yet and are thinking about it, it's not a stigma. Everybody needs help. Everybody. It is worth doing the work. It is worth putting in the effort and the time that it takes. What else do you have to do but make yourself the best you that you can be? That's all I've got for today. Again, I'm sorry for this being late, but I hope you guys continue sticking with me. If you find value in what I'm doing, and you want to continue finding me easier and you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Give me your opinion on any of this. I would love to hear from you. Any of your experiences or any of it. I hope to see you guys again in the next couple of days. I love you all. I wish you all the best. And I will talk to you later. Thank you much.